I'm here. Okay. Don't y'all want y'all 4C here to look like this? Nice and strong and healthy and even. Don't y'all want it to look like this? Like from the 70s? Okay, y'all. So we're going to talk about um things you learn about 4C here too late. Okay, too late. All right. And wait till we get some more people in here. These arginine got my face getting all thick. Look what the arginine is doing to my face. It's making my cheekbones thick. Arginine is the truth, y'all. If arginine fills out your muscles, y'all better get some arginine. Okay. Y'all know I love to do. Oh, what the heck is this on my shirt? Looks like powder. I love to do 4C videos. So y'all know my day don't even get started until I done my hair. So I do my hair, then I get in the shower. Okay? Because if I do my hair after the shower, then I'll be all stressed out about my hair. Hey, we're gonna wait till we get more people in here. Okay, if you don't like 4C here, please don't speak. Please don't come with the negative tone of auntie and grandma, y'all. Don't reserve that comment for 4C here. Okay, no negativity. Let's get started. So there was somebody in here, but they hung around. I guess they was doing terrors on me or whatever. They jumped right back out. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Can anybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Until somebody tell me they can hear me, I can't get started. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay. Can everybody hear me? I guess I'll get started and guess somebody will tell me they hear me. So we're going to discuss Afro pics. Okay, we're going to discuss this. Afro pics. Okay, y'all. Get your Afro pics out. The real way to use Afro pics. Okay? Afro pics are actually for detoxing your scalp, but it's not for your ends unless your ends are wet and moisturized. Once the ends of your hair dry, you cannot use an Afro pick on your ends. Once again, once your hair is dry and no longer wet, you cannot use an Afro pick on your ends. Okay? Actually, when you're first done shampooing and conditioning your hair, you should allow your ends to shrink, and you really should be just doing this. This is it. Okay? This is it. This is it. Even after you condition your hair, even after you condition it, after you wash the conditioner out, the Afro pick only goes up like this. It doesn't go to the ends. Okay? Even if you put leave-in conditioner in, it does not go to the ends of your hair. Okay? Your hair has to be dripping wet to comb all the way to the ends with an Afro pick. The Afro picks you use should have a round tip and be flexible. Flexible. Okay. So, if your hair is dry and you want to lift your afro, yeah, you can go in, but you don't go to the end. Okay? You don't go to the end. I'm going to keep saying this, y'all. See how I'm not going to the end? I'm just creating space in my hair for my roots to breathe. When you're done rinsing out your leave-in conditioner, when you're done rinsing out your washout conditioner, you want to do this to your afro here. You need to create space so that the air could come through and help to create moisture in your afro here. Okay? Now, we're going to talk about grease. Grease, it doesn't matter if it has a fat sealant in it. Can anybody hear me? Can you hear me? Because ain't nobody saying nothing. It don't matter if it has a fat sealant in it. It don't matter. Grease seals in the moisture that you already put in. That's what it does. It lets the moisture penetrate your hair, so then your hair can feel like it has moisture. Now understand, if you have gray in your hair, you're going to think that you don't have no moisture. Yeah, you do. Okay, because gray is wiry. So go by how your hair feels where there is no gray. So there's not that much gray here, so there's moisture. Okay. Now, to use grease, okay? Yes you can. Yes you can. I know that's wild. Like, yes, you can use grease on locks. Yes. Okay. But you want to be careful. You want to use a little bit on locks. A little bit. So, if your locks are locked in for a while, let's say you had your locks at least a year, you can do the lock method. Okay. Grease only works if you have started off with a cream, a moisturizer first, or your washout conditioner really moisturized your hair. So let's say you use the deep moisturizing conditioner after your shampoo. Then you might be able to, depend on how soft your hair feel, then you can skip the cream and just put the grease in then. But let's say you did what I did, and you didn't like pre-steam the hair. You didn't use like a steam deep conditioner. Let's say you did what I did today, when you was like, oh, I put my mask in for 5 minutes. I did shampoo, conditioner, that's it. Okay, then you want to put the cream in first while your hair is wet, and then the grease. Putting the grease in by itself does not seal in moisture. You're going to find that your hair feels very greasy for a very long time. So, the only way the grease can get in is it has to have something to push in before it. Now, depending on how dense and thick your 4C hair is, because there's less dense 4C hair. But if you have super dense 4C hair, then you're probably going to have to use at least a dime size of grease per section of your hair. So you're going to part your hair in half, and then you're going to use about a dime size, no more than a nickel size of grease on each half of your hair. This is after you put the cream in while your hair is wet. Okay? If it's the winter time, I can tell you right now, this is a process you're going to be doing almost every day if you're rocking your afro out. Okay? This means every single day you're going to have to go rinse your hair in cold water, and then reseal this all over again. If you're living in the north and it's very cold and wintry. But if you're living in the south where it's steamy and hot, you're going to be able to go days without redoing this if your hair is out. Okay? Why do you think in the ASMR African videos, they do each other's hair like every couple days? Because it's nice and steamy and hot there. They don't have to reseal every day when their hair is out. But if your hair is very thick like mine and it's out, then you're going to have to do this almost every day. Now, there's a way you can get around not buying expensive creams. You can just get you a fat-based leave-in conditioner. The fat-based leave-in conditioner is still going to work with the grease because it has flaxseed in it, or avocado, or some sort of fat in it. So you're going to put this in first, If it's thick, the leave-in conditioner has to be thick. See how thick that is? It's thick in there. It has to be thick. And then while your hair is wet, then you put the grease on. So, for example, okay, nice and wet. Nice and wet. Notice I'm not using the comb. I'm just using my fingers, and I'm not using my nails. I'm using this part of my fingers so that I don't create split ends. See? I'm picking with the tips of my finger. Now that's nice and wet. That is nice and wet. Notice I'm just parting with my fingers because I already combed it through. Now because it's all nice and wet, now I can just use, let me show y'all, it's still going to work. This is the fat base. Okay. See how kind of thick that is for a leave-in conditioner? It's kind of thick. Now, because this is wet, I can still go through with my Afro comb because it's wet. Once again, because it's wet. See? I'm still going to apply the same method I did before, where I'm holding my hair and I'm gently detangling with the leave-in. See how it's just going through? All right. You don't hear a lot of snags. Now, there we go. Now I'm going to add, because that's such a small section, I don't need a lot of grease, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now you can work like this if you want to go little section by little section. Okay? Because it's still wet, I can do it like this. Now, if you can't keep track of the sections, then you just section it off. You know, section it off, and then you just go. Okay? Notice I'm not over combing. I'm not using a comb to part. Start getting used to using your fingers because your fingers are more gentler than a comb. Now, remember, because the sections are so small, you do not want to use a lot of grease. Consider the size of your sections. So, all right. So I'm checking to make sure that all the water is actually to the ends of the hair. Now, once again, my leave-in conditioner. This is my buttery leave-in conditioner. Actually, your leave-in conditioner should be, if you can get one that's thick, that's good. Okay? If you have very dense 4C hair, you want a thick leave-in conditioner. If you have thin, spacey 4C hair, you want a thin leave-in conditioner. See, I'm making sure that leave-in is all the way through. And then I just put a little bit of grease. Like I just skimmed the grease. See? You can barely see it. Now, we want to make sure that we get the short parts. Okay, the parts that seem to shrunk the fastest. Now, because this is wet, I can use my Afro pick now, see? Because I wetted it, and it has product in it. There we go. Now, I have no sheddage, y'all. When I tell y'all my hair has not shedded in few weeks now, like weeks, no shedding. So my process is right, okay? I'm doing it right after I got all those dead ends cut off. Okay. Now, as I said, I could just keep going through. Keep going through. Sorry if I'm talking so loud, y'all. I be singing a lot. And that singing be making me talk loud. I don't know where. Okay. So I'm not going to do my whole hair live on video. Okay. If I don't, then it's going to be uneven moisturized. Now, oils. Because I already have an oil in my hair, this means the seal going to be good. See? Because you can still use the oil before you use the cream. You can still do that. So you can put the rosemary oil in your hair for extra moisture. Since rosemary do moisturize your hair and grow your hair. So I'm working the water through, y'all, because I have gray. If I don't work it through, it just lays on my gray. So, okay, if wherever your hair is really gray at, you want to be heavier with the leave-in conditioner. Gray breaks, is fragile. Okay, it's wiry. So consider how, if you have gray, how much gray you have in your hair. So see how I went heavier on the gray because I got a lot of gray there. See that? So I went a little heavier. Now because my hair is actually wet, I can use the Afro Pig all the way to the end. But consider the fact that your roots, your hair is shrunk. So you want to go very slow. You want to gradually work it out. Okay? Think about, look at it like you're combing cotton, because you really are. Okay? You're like combing cotton. So I put a little bit of grease on my finger. Notice I'm going a little closer here for where my edges are shorter because it grows slower. So my stylist said it's not that I don't have no breakage there, it's just growing slower. Okay, there we have it. No. Okay, now if you're like me, I like to do the front first. Because it takes, for me, my front is the slowest growing. So I like to do the sections that grow the slowest first. The front of my hair grows the slowest, and the back of my hair grows slow. So I don't want to waste time with sealing those parts. Okay? I don't want to waste no time because the day is still moving along, y'all. Okay? So always do your slow growing sections first. Seal those as soon as possible in the morning hours. Notice how I'm taking my time taking this out. Very slow. Okay, be gentle. Cotton here. So because my back and my front grow slow and breaks faster, I get my breakage normally happens right in the front and right in the back. So, and the reason why most people's hair break in the front and the back, because that's where they start off with their with the breaking and the twisting, and they're in the energy of, their energy is too strong. So it's stressing the hair out. Okay. So when I'm sealing, I always do the front and the back first, where my breakage normally happens. So, all right, once again, if your hair is really, really graying, you need a thick leave-in conditioner. Do not get the watery, do not get the thin leave-in conditioners when you have a ton of gray. I'm going to tell you now, right now, you're going to notice that wherever that gray is at, every time you get trims, they're like, oh, I got to take off more there. They're going to tell you that. Okay? All right, so see how I did that. All right, I'm not, because I already put rosemary in my hair. So this is my grease I just put. Hi, everybody. Oh, thank you. It's healthy, y'all. That's why, y'all, I ain't playing. Now, here's the thing. This is going to sound crazy, y'all. If you go and get a trim and they like, oh, I got to take off a lot. They tell you that. Go ahead and get you a prenatal vitamin and take double. Okay? You don't have, when you need big trims, it's more than just what you're putting in your hair. That's internal, y'all. So go get you a prenatal vitamin after you get that big trim and take 2 a couple days a week so that you can get your levels up fast, y'all. Okay? So see, that's my back. All right. Now, I'm not going to do the whole hair on here. But see how much I had to get a lot taken off here. Because this, like I said, the front of my hair and the back of my hair is the fastest to break. which means I probably should be gentle when I am twisting that part of the hair. What this means is I probably have a little 4A or 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 um 4B in there, and I'm handling it like it's 4C when there's 4A mixed in. So, and I know this because when I put the gel in the front of my hair in the back, it's like I got 4A. It's like 4A immediately. So I'm better off being real gentle with my coils when I do the front and the back of my hair. Once again, if you have a bunch of gray or very dense 4C hair, you need a thick leave-in conditioner. Okay, they make them. Okay, so I'm just pretty much just adding the grease on top of the, here, there. All right. Thank you for the wonderful compliment. So I'm going to move a little quick while I'm talking to y'all. I'm not going to part no more. Okay. It was out already, y'all, and popped out my hand. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Now, I'm not going to use that clip anymore because that clip was slippery. I have more clips, y'all, but I don't feel like getting them. So this is how you speed up the moisture for when you're using grease. You want to put a plastic cap over your head and then an actual thick shower cap. Okay? See how thick this shower cap is? You want to get a regular plastic, even a plastic bag, tie it around your hair, and then put the thick plastic bonnet over your hair. Okay? And you're going to wear this for at least 1 hour after you put the grease and the moisture in your hair. So basically, you're going to walk around your kitchen while you're having breakfast with this on, with the plastic underneath. You're going to find that your hair is like softer, especially if the temperature in your house is over 60 degrees. So let's say you got the temperature at 70 degrees and you did a double seal. Don't do a one seal. Don't do a one plastic seal, like just plastic bag. That's not good enough for 4C here. 4A girls can do that. You need a double seal. You need as much stain sealed in warmth as you can get. Okay? Now, at night, you can put the blanket over your head too for the first hour of sleep. So when you first go to sleep, put a blanket over your head too. This is going to seal in all that warmth from body heat and get the stuff to seal more in your hair. Okay. Now we're going to talk about, what's the next thing? We're going to talk about using gel. Okay, when you're doing finger coils. Yeah, I know y'all like the micro finger coils, but they're too risky on 4C here. Okay, there's a chance that they will actually break your hair out. It doesn't matter what gel you use when you're doing skinny finger coils. So it doesn't matter if you say, well, I'm doing my finger. It still needs to be chunky. Okay. So consider your finger coils need to be almost the width of half of your finger, your index finger. So about that thick at least, your finger coils. This is going to keep from any micro breaks. So give y'all an example. Because my hair is still wet, I was able to use that. Hey, y'all. So your finger coils, believe it or not, need to be almost as thick as that. See? Almost as thick. And I know this because whenever I get finger coils by professionals who do the finger coils, they always do my coils almost this thick. This is the thinnest they will do them. It doesn't matter what licensed stylist I go to, what salon. Whenever they do my finger coils, they're normally this thick at least. Okay. Now, I know y'all like, woo, child. This is why it's taking so long to do your 4C hair. Your coils are too skinny. Okay, the skinnier they are, the longer to take down, the riskier it is in getting breakage, and actually it's harder to seal moisture. Okay, your hair wants to be thick. It likes chunkiness. So do the chunkiness. As a matter of fact, I get a lot of compliments when I do my hair chunky. When I do chunky finger coils, men will be like, "You got beautiful hair." Like, I'm serious, y'all. So because I already put the product in, okay, I can do finger coils with my conditioner, because this one does work with finger coils. But let's say it's like, I'm like, that don't shine my hair though. Like, I don't get shiny hair from that. Then of course I could just go over it with the flaxseed. I'm just doing a demonstration, y'all. This isn't like me trying to like bust it out, style it or whatever, because I'm actually going to wash my hair. So there I put the flaxseed gel in for shine and add it. Okay. Now we're going to talk about grease. There we go. Okay. Notice I left space there. Okay. You don't want it tight. I know we like the finger coils all tight, but y'all, I'm telling y'all, when you do it so tight, you're going breakage. I know we think finger coils don't break here, but they do. All right. I'm just going to go over. See how soft and manageable it feels now that I sealed with the grease. It's all soft and manageable. Okay. There we go. Now, if you're like, oh, my hair is drying because of the climate in my room, in your house, you can always pin it. Some people will pin their finger coils down to have them lay a certain way. Okay. Now, of course, some of y'all will have parts of your hair that's not as thick. So you have to consider how tight your finger coils is based upon how dense that section is. So if it's not so dense, see, this is not that dense here. That's not that dense. So I don't want to do that like extra tight. I want to go a little looser because it's not. I'm thinking about how smooth it is. Now, you don't want to do finger coils if it's not smooth. I know y'all like, oh no, the roots ain't twisted. When this dries, it's going to swell up. This is going to swell up and it's going to look like juicy finger coils laying on top of each other. That's what it's going to look like. Okay. I know some of y'all are used to finger coiling your hair all the way to the roots. But if you get a licensed stylist to do it, you'll notice that they're not going all the way to the roots. They're actually going like only halfway up with the coil. Okay. Gel. Now, if you don't put the product here, then your roots are not going to look, your coils are not going to pop. So you still have to add it here. Okay, you still have to add the product close to the roots. You still do. Okay, because I already had some oil in my hair, a moisturizing oil, I really don't have to go back in much with sealing. Okay, I already put rosemary in my hair. Rosemary keeps your hair from breaking out during the winter season. So even if you don't put nothing else in your hair, put the rosemary. As you see, this is longer than this because this had more breakage when she trimmed it. But don't think of your hair like, oh, it's uneven, so it's breakage. No. Sometimes the hair is just uneven. The stylists, they know when it's breakage and it's just uneven. Okay? They know the difference. So notice I'm not trying to like get super tight roots. I'm like, no, I don't want that tightness. When my hair swells up, I want it to look juicy. So see, it's just like Just laying there. Now some of y'all don't like it so thick. Of course, y'all can separate them later on. Y'all, you don't have to leave them thick like that. You can separate it. Now this is me, like I said. Okay. You can go over the twist more than once to make it a little tighter, but as I said, you have to be careful of how tight you make your coils. Okay. Because I did not really seal this section, I'm still going to have to seal this section. So this part right here, I did seal that part. I didn't seal this part. We just going to quick seal this part here. A little bit of grease. So this part right here, starting to dry already. As I said, it's very hard to do finger coils when your hair is bone dry. You cannot do finger coils like that. All right. So you want to just make sure that it's like getting smooth, because this needs to be combed. Just a little combed. There you go. See how I'm combing my hair like this? I'm not going like that. I'm not yanking it all the way through. If your gel is fat based, it should take that hair smooth. If it's not taking your hair smooth, then you're working with the wrong gel. Okay? It shouldn't require a lot. I'm really just tapping a jar. I know it looks like I'm putting a lot, but I'm not, y'all. Okay. So, because you want to respect the edges, y'all. Copyright, respect the edges. Don't do too much on the edges. Just go ahead, do your little finger coil and keep it moving. Okay. I can't even tell what I'm doing because the lighting in here suck. This needs a little bit more. So you'll notice that your hair starts to need a little bit more product when it's gray. You'll notice that. So if you like your hair chunky in the front and then thin along the sides like I do, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. Now we're going to talk about grease. Okay. Grease can actually be used as a conditioner for a few days. Okay. I know y'all think that doesn't look so neat. It doesn't have to look neat. You're 4C. You should look like you got jungle hair. You should look like your hair's thick. Okay? I don't know why this obsession with 4C hair people, they want their hair to look like thinly curled. It actually looks better when it's left thick. When people be like, oh, your hair is thick. It looks better. There. Okay. So I kind of did this. I did this without really seeing what I'm doing, y'all. But I'm going to leave it because I feel like it's just kind of becoming the way it wants to become. Whenever I try to be perfect with my 4C here, I notice like I start going too hard on it and then I get breakage. So really what I strive for mostly is moisture rather than perfect laid styles. Okay. I'm not trying to be smart, but if you ever notice people that's always doing perfectly laid styles, you ever notice how they look like they got spacey hair or bald patches that seem like it's their hair is falling out? There's a price to pay for trying to be perfect with your hair. So, all right. Okay. Once again. Okay, so I feel like this could use a little bit more moisture. You have to really just assess your 4C here. Like, okay, did the moisture go through or what? Okay. There we go. All right. Remember, if you don't put it at the root, then when your hair dries, it's not going to look your coils is not going to look good. Your hair might look coiled at the end, but it ain't going to look like that at the root. Hmm. So if this doesn't really coil, it means that it's not wet enough. So I don't really want to add too much. Already had product in my hair. So I'm really not trying to overdo it. Okay. Notice how some of them are a little leaner, but some of them aren't. Okay. As I said, you can just have fun. Just have fun. Let your hair just do what it do. See how it's just going that way and just whatever it wants to do. Okay. Now, of course, if I'm like, okay, this just isn't cool enough, remember that the product is going to increase how tight the coil can be. The product. Okay, so if you want the coil a little tighter, then you would just add more product. Okay, but I really don't like my coil. See how tight that is? I really don't like it that tight. So what I'm gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna add more water because what's gonna happen is once it dries, it's gonna swell up more. So it's not gonna be that tight. Remember, if you add a lot of water to your hair before coiling, the more it's going to swell up. If you don't have a lot of water in your hair before finger coiling, then the tighter it's going to be. Okay? I'm sorry, backwards. If you don't have much water in your hair, you're not going to be able to coil it tight. Okay? If you drench it in water and then put the product in, then you'll be able to coil it tighter. So decide, how tight do you want your coils? How narrow do you want them? I don't really like mine's narrow. I don't like how it seems like I get break as soon as I start doing them narrow, like skinny coils, too skinny. I don't like that. So what I started doing is I started actually just letting my hair be nice and wet so that they swell up. Y'all, my hands is too slippery for this. That flaxseed gel will have your hands super slippery. Mm, okay. So see how that just feels like it needs a little bit more moisture. Remember that um even when you're doing coils, you need to consider the fact that you're trying to make sure you keep moisture in your hair. Okay? Stop being perfect. Finger coils is an art form. Okay? You shouldn't be like trying to do perfect finger coils. They actually should be like you're trying to do something different, something unique with the way your hair is done. So consider how you're parting it. Okay? If you want the parts to lay down wider like that, then you would part it like that. If you want the parts to be less thick at the root, then you part it like that. Okay? So I like mine to be the root to show here along the front. So I normally do mine like this at a sideward angle. It's all personal taste, y'all, with how you part your finger coils. Remember that if you add a lot of water to your finger coils, they're going to swell up. Okay? They're not going to stay they're not going to stay skinny. So if you're like, I don't want puffy finger coils, then you're going to have to do your finger coils semi dry. But then there's another problem. To get them skinny, you're going to have to add more product. See? So let your hair be puffy. Like Stop trying to take the puff away. Like I know this is a lot of 4C girls even on YouTube. They're always trying to like let me go ahead and snatch this to the root because I don't want nobody to see that I got 4C. I want it to look like I don't got 4C. No, y'all, stop doing that, y'all. Okay, people can pretty much figure out what type of hair texture you really got. So like you're not really fooling anyone. Okay. So like I said, if you want your roots to show this way, you can do it that way. If you want your roots to show also this way, but your coils to go this way, you go this way. If you don't want the roots so visible, then you do it this way. You part your hair that way. Okay? So, how you finger coil your hair is just a personal taste. I'm not picky. I'm not interested in perfect finger coils, although I can do them and y'all have seen me do them. But I'm done with that, y'all. I want here and even here, I want healthy ends more than some perfect finger coils. Okay. All right. Okay. So I decided to add a little bit. Okay. I'm not really going to comb through this one because see how that's so fragile? Start having respect for your edges. Your edges don't always need comb. You can like do them with your finger. Like I don't know why people don't just go ahead and do the edges with their finger. It's like, what is all that? I do my edges one comb through when I do my washout conditioner, and then that's it. Okay. Let me see how distinctive it looks. Okay. It's already swelling up. Look how they're swelling up. And it kind of looks like loose locks, but that's how it's supposed to look. Now you see how I added a lot of product here, a lot of product there, because this is where my hair is the thinnest. See how it looks like it's tighter, even though I could part it the same amount as this side. It's this side will still always tighten easier. So if I don't want it that tight, as I said, I can always, if I wanted, I could have used less product and just leave it real wet and then just let it loose like that. And then what's going to happen is when it dries, it's going to be puffy, y'all. Okay. Okay. Now, notice I did it downward. I can just always go in and go like that. So that there's some sort of like height in that. Okay. Yeah. Give up perfection, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's killing growth. Okay. If you can go ahead through and be like, let me touch that up a little bit. But what you don't want to do is keep redoing it. You don't want to keep doing it from the start. Like, let me take it out, do it again, take it out, do it again. You don't want to keep doing that. Okay. You're stressing your hair out. Now, the parts of your hair that you know is fragile, you should be going heavier. You should be making those parts bigger. See how my hair is fragile here. So you see how I made that a little bigger? See how big that is? I would never do micro coils there because this is a very fragile area. And this part grows slower. Plus it's very, like I said, very thin there. So I'm not going to be like micro coils there. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to just rock it, But let's say I'm like, okay, that's a little bit too big, too wide. Okay. This is about pretty much as thin I can make it. But see, I don't want to even risk that. But let's say I'd be like, no, it's not a skinny enough coil. Then I can just go back in with the product. Just go back. But what I don't want to do is start like, let me just go ahead and make this skinnier. No, you don't want to part it See how I just went in with more product. So now it's skinnier. See? Skinnier. Skinnier. Okay. Yeah. Just leave it alone, y'all. Serious, like I know we can't help it, but now see how this is not really closing? Let's say you do your finger curls and you're like, why is that not closing? It's because there wasn't enough water. It dried faster. It dried too fast. And you probably could use a little bit more gel on the end. See? Like I said, if you have gray in your hair, you'll notice that it's drying almost as fast as you're doing it. So, all right. Now, let's say you be like, I'm just looking to see, like, do I like it? You don't have to redo each one. You could just go over with a little bit of your product and just touch it up. You don't have to actually, like, take it out. See? You don't have to take it out. Just, like, go over where the part you see needs a little taming. So you might be like, ooh, this needs a little taming right here. So I'm going to use a little bit more product. Okay. Now, if my hair was dripping wet, like straight out the sink, this would be way easier to do. Way easier. But it's not dripping out the sink. I'm doing it with my hair just misty wet. Hi, everybody. Exactly. Start letting yourself not be perfect, y'all. I'm serious. Like, let people accept your imperfections. Like, start letting the world see you not perfect. Once you start putting out that image that you're perfect, that's a lot of pressure to maintain. Okay? So allow yourself to be imperfect. Allow your hair to not be so perfect all the time. That's one thing I did like about Jay-Z. He will literally let his hair, his locks be any kind of way. And it's not that he's not caring. He's letting them go how they want to go. He's letting them move. He's letting the frequency, when his hair dries. See how I wet it first? I wet my hair first. And what y'all just seeing is dead ends. Okay. Notice how this is longer than this, because this is where my hair broke out at. I was putting micro coils in the front of my hair with a very stiff gel. I had no idea that it was breaking my hair out. Plus, I had iron deficiency. So the whole time I was actually just working against my hair. I thought I was doing something. So now I don't do micro coils anymore. I mean, dude, y'all see micro coils in Mufasa's hair? Y'all, I got a smart mouth. Do y'all see micro coils in Mufasa's hair? If Mufasa got locks, his hair would probably be medium to jumbo. Okay? Because he would be like, no, I need everybody to see my Mufasa-ness. He would be like, serious. He want his crown to look fat. Okay? Let your crown look kind of fat. Let your crown look big-headed compared to everybody else's. Okay. So the flaxseed is a wonderful gel. It has a way of quickly sealing in the moisture because it's like to me it's like soft honey. I find it to be another way of using honey. Now, if some of y'all have too much gray and it's just too coarse, then you may want to go ahead and put a little honey in it just to help your coils. Notice how I'm making sure that the flaxseed gel is here. Because if it's not at the root, when your hair dries, your hair going to look dry at the root. It's not going to look good. Okay? So make sure you get as close as you can to your scalp with the sealing gel, whatever gel you're using. Okay? This takes time, y'all. This is why it's better to have your, like, watch a series on Netflix, y'all. You know, have some sort of series that you like to watch or podcast. This is gonna see how this one is kind of like thicker. So I am going to add a little bit more. You can only twist your hair according to how slippery it is. Okay, see how? If it's not slippery, then it's not going to work, y'all. Slippery. I say slippery. Okay. All right. Some people just go like this on the parts where I have a whole lot of gray and it's just like real coarse. If you want to call it coarse, I will smooth as I twist. Twist, smooth, twist, smooth, twist, smooth to make sure that I get it in there. My hair literally is not shedding anymore. Like, it came to a screeching halt. Screeching halt when I found out I was high porosity. I found out I was high porosity about a month and a half ago. And it's like, thank you, God. Now I know. Now I know. I was doing low porosity and I wasn't doing nothing but breaking my hair out. My hair was not getting smooth. Now, let me tell y'all something y'all don't know. See this here? You know how the doctor will give you a skin cream and will be like, yeah, this is for your skin. Do you know that you can still use this for your hair? There's people that put Vaseline in their hair. Do you know that if it says hydration on it, hydration, and it's Vaseline, you can still put this in your hair. If you could put this on your scalp, and your scalp, your skin, and your skin has hair. Look, that's hair. There's hair on the skin. If I can put this on my skin where there is hair, I can put this actually in my hair. So I asked my family member, I was like, can I have that? Can I have that? Hydration. So we keep on going by labels. Don't go by labels. Don't go by, it doesn't have to say for hair. All it has to do is say hydration. Hydration cream. If it says hydration cream, you can actually put it in your hair. Look, I just put it in there. 4C here need all the hydration it could get. Okay. Now, because this is for scalp too, I can put this right on my scalp. See? See what I'm saying? Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I can actually use this as my cream before I put my grease in. Okay, y'all, I forgot to wet it, but it was already kind of wet, so I'm still covered, y'all. All right. So stop buying these $25 bottle creams and go get you some Vaseline moisturization hydration lotion. Lotion. If you was poor and broke, you would use it, right? I mean, we have to stop thinking that because something is trending that we have to have that. Look at that. That got so moisturized just now. Shoot. I'ma use this. It smells so good, y'all. Woo! It says dermatologist tested, 90% more moisture, 90% hydration. This is my new cream, y'all. This is my new cream. I'm done with the $25 bottle creams, y'all. We good. I ain't messing with them no more. I'm gonna go to the doctor and I'm gonna be like, you got any more of that? You got any more of that Vaseline healing cream? Because it says 48-hour moisture. I'm gonna be like, I need another bottle. Because they give it away for free at the clinic. They gave that away for free. I was like, oh, child. I told my family member, I said, I wish I had a went with you. I would have got me a bottle. They said, you can have it. I was like, ooh. Somebody give me some hydration cream for my hair, and I feel like I hit the lottery. Remember, when you use Afro picks, you want to work your way up. You work your way up. And it has to be down. Okay? Has to be down. If you go to a stylist and they're going like that, tap out. Be like, I'm good. They should be working their way up the hair for detangling. Work their way up. It doesn't matter what comb they use. Work their way up. I keep saying that, y'all. Work it up. There. This is going to keep from a lot of breakage. All right. So, I got some dead ends coming out, but it's supposed to come out, y'all. Okay. There we go. All right. Doesn't feel that wet. I need to make sure. So I'm doing an experiment. I'm using this cream that the doctor gave my family member. It's for hydration, 48-hour hydration, and moisture. Okay. But I'm still going to go over it with a little bit of grease, as we said. Okay. And then the final, if I want it smooth and silky, I'm going to use my gel. As I said, remember that the gel has to be close to the root. You have to put the gel in close so that the root looks nice when it dries. Okay. All right. Smooth. All right. Okay. That's what I have on my skin, y'all. Look at my skin. I have this, and what else did I put on my skin? And tea tree. I got that on my skin too, y'all. I got tea tree oil and that cream the doctor gave me. Okay, so it depends on how many you want on each side. If you want weight, then you might want to go a little bit thinner on the side of your hair. Like I said, consider how much density that you have on your hair. So, because this is not such a very thick cream, of course it's going to like swell up. See how that's not like super tight because it's not a very thick cream. So, of course, if you want a tighter, you're going to have to use a thicker cream. But I find that I could just always go back in with a little bit more gel and work it in there. Okay? All right. Now, this is what they told me. Let me tell y'all something y'all could do with your coils. You can crunch them. If you want them to look like Jerry curl coils, you can crunch them like that while they're still kind of wet. Or you could just let them dry so that they kind of look like this, see? This is what it looks like when you do it loose coils. See how it's all wavy? This is what it looks like when you do it tighter. Now, let's say you be like, oh, I want it to look like this. Then all you could do is just rinse it a little bit, but don't take it out. Just rinse it a little bit, and then it'll swell up like this. So that's how you can work it. So, like I said, if you want your hair to look kind of Jerry curly or have some like distinctiveness to it, you can just kind of scrunch it up, while it's a little dry or whatever. I like how that one looks. Look, it looks like it has like a piece of jewelry hanging at the bottom of it. Like that looks like jewelry. So, yeah. Okay. And the way it's like skinny, then it goes fat right there. I like that. But, some people, they want it like all the way to the end. If they want to do it like that, fine. But you can always, as I said, you can always go in and tame the swelling. or you could just leave it, let it be. Because my front is in repair, I don't really want to do micros here. See how I'm keeping this kind of chunky? Because my front is so fragile. I think I got some 4A in my front, y'all. I really do. So that's why I try to leave. I try to like not go so skinny on this. Now I could go skinny here, see, because I got more here. It's more denser here. But I really can't go skinny here. You know, this is weird. I know y'all say this is weird, but it's you have to do an assessment. Now, let's say you have to do the assessment on where your hair is the densest at and where it's not the most dense. Now, let's say you be like, oh, but Miss V, I don't like, I want my root. Let's say you're like not happy with the way the root is. The beginning part of your coils will only look as good as how much sealing that is getting. So you can always just go back in. See how I went back in? All right, now understand this is your edges, so you still got to be just as gentle as you was before. You can't just be like, oh, because I'm redoing it, I'm going to go harder. No, you have to be just as gentle. Now, because it's re-wet, see, it didn't shrink yet. Once it dries, it's going to go like this, and then you'll see all the definition of my coils when it shrinks. Don't judge your hair while it's wet. 4C hair shrink. So once you see the shrinkage, then you know like what it's really doing. We tend to be too critical of our hair before it's even dried and laid, and you know, don't judge your hair until when you wet it. If you're doing a wet style like I'm doing right now, you shouldn't be judging it until it dries. Okay? So you like once it dries, be like, okay, do I like how some of these 2 inches from the scalp look? Could I have used more gel there or whatever? I don't like to just go in real heavy because some parts of your hair don't need heavy product. So you should actually consider how dense that section is before you even think of going heavy. So if your edges is not that strong, then you probably should not go so heavy with the gel. But you might want to go heavier with the cream. Okay? I don't care what kind of gel it is. The gel, if your hair is not moisturized, the gel will break your hair out. So consider the fact that your edges, if you have fragile edges in certain parts of your front of your hair, you need to make sure that you're heavy with the cream just to keep the breakage away. Hi, everybody. Okay. Remember 4C hair. If you're struggling and you're like, this hair is so coarse because it's winter, you want to smooth as you twist. Smooth, twist, smooth, twist, smooth, twist, smooth, twist. Okay? Like a massage. When somebody massage you, don't they go, woo, massage, woo, massage, woo, massage. That's how you want to do it. Okay? Oh, thank you very much, y'all. I got so pissed off. I had to get so much cut off 2 months ago. I got pissed. I said, oh, hell no. I went to the stylist and said, can you please tell me what porosity I have? You know, they don't like to tell you because then they think you ain't going to come back. They don't like to tell you. But one of the other stylists, they said it to me. She said, you're high porosity. I said, got it. I got it now. I got this now. I got this now. But you ever notice they just tell you what products to use? They don't ever tell you like you high, low porosity. You got to literally ask or they don't tell you. And I don't like that, y'all. It's like, come on now. Don't you want me to have hair when I come back here? Tell us sister what porosity she has. And they don't even tell you how to twist your own hair. They just say finger coil. But it's like, nah, I need hair. I need hair. And if my hair's falling out, I'm not going to have no hair to coil. Oh, thank you very much, y'all. I know there's some stylists like, she's hurting my business. She better shut the hell up. It's like, and not everybody can afford to go to the salon. And not everybody even lives near a salon. Okay? You got to have a car over here to get to the salon. Or you just ain't, or you ain't, you're not getting, you're not getting your hair done. Serious, y'all. Serious. If you want to make some money in Pennsylvania, be a stylist on wheel. You can get rich being a stylist on wheels in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania got too many hills. The bus transportation is untrustworthy. The salons ain't nowhere near the houses. Right? There's like hardly any salons near where people live at. So everybody's getting Ubers and rides to get to the salons. They ride, carpooling just to go to the salons, y'all. That's sad. This is why I don't have a stylist on wheels, because all the stylists on wheels here, they didn't got paid and went and opened their own salons. They got their bag for a whole year being a stylist on wheels here, and then they went ahead and opened their salon. But I'm like, but we can't get to the salons though. It's too many hills. Okay, it costs like $20 for an Uber just to get to the salons here. It's jacked up if you don't got no car. And even if you do got a car, you paying like $15 in gas to get to the salons. It's like, really? You still got to have some money. It take $15 in gas almost just to get to the salons here. Because the traffic is so bad in Pennsylvania too. It's very overpopulated and congested. So you're sitting in traffic and school traffic and all kind of stuff. And you're like, damn, I just paid $15 just to get to the salon. Oh, thank you. Remember, 4C here, when you have 4C here, you can't do like this, like 4A. You got to smooth twist, smooth twist, smooth twist. Okay? 4A girls can be like, okay, now there's only one time you can do that. Is if you just had a deep conditioner where you sat under a dryer. You sat under a dryer, or you had a high amp conditioning treatment. So let's say you go to the salon and you got a high amp conditioning treatment. The hydration has already been put in. So that's why when you go to do the finger coils, you can just go like this. But I don't have a hydration machine here. I don't have any $90 high amp shampoo in here. I'm not J-Lo and Beyonce in here paying half a rent for some hydration, for some high amp shampoo. Because high amp shampoo and conditioner is extremely expensive. Okay. And I don't live near a salon where I could just run in and be like, give me a high amp conditioning treatment, then run home and do my hair. I don't live near one, okay? And the roads is bad, it's snowy. I'm not paying $15 to wreck my car, to sit in school traffic for a high amp shampoo that doesn't even include the hairstyle. No, I'm not doing that. Okay? Yeah. So, yeah, see, if it says hydration, you can still use it. This means that it probably has a very low amount of alcohol. If it had a high amount of alcohol, it wouldn't be saying hydration. So, if ask your doctor for a hydration body lotion. Be like, do you, I need a body lotion. The person that gave me this has psoriasis. I said, ooh, child, can I get that? Because if it's going to work on psoriasis, it's going to work on this head. So the person that I know had very crackly, dry skin. So their psoriasis is doing pretty good, and they got too many products or whatever. So there's like, yeah, you can have this one. You can have one of them. So they gave this to me as a gift, and I'm like, okay. But what I like, it says healing. See how it says healing on it? So I'm like, okay, my hair needs to be healed. It needs to be healed, y'all. I'm not paying no more $25 creams when I can just get me a hydration lotion right out of the skincare part. Because I feel like this, if it could go on my skin, it could go on my hair. For real. If it's dermatologist approved, this is dermatologist approved. If it ain't going to make the hair on my arm fall out, it's not going to make the hair on my head fall out. Y'all, I'm funny. they purposely, they purposely give change to say just for skin. They don't say just for skin, but they just notice they don't say just for skin. It only says intensive care in skin. It doesn't say just for skin. I want to be able to put it on my skin too and get hydration on my skin. Because you know, when your hair's not hydrated, you're like, your scalp, when your scalp's not hydrated, it's itchy and flaky. So really, I want to use this on my scalp. I'm gonna start putting this down my scalp like y'all, I be cutting up in my videos. Moisture, y'all. Y'all better start making your boyfriends moisturize your hair. He don't got no money to take you on a date. Be like, can you please get this cream and grease and moisturize my hair? You can do that. Shoot. You're sitting up here broke. You still a knight. You don't got no money. You don't got no money. But you got fingers. Okay? You got fingers and they work. And you want me to look good, right? You don't want me to look like I've been locked up in a cage somewhere my whole life. So can you can you please moisturize my hair for me? My childhood friend got growing hands, y'all. We can't really hang because I don't want no problems with his wife. I don't know what his wife was like. You know, you see the thing when you have male childhood friends, wives be like, nope, mm-mm. And I respect the wife energy. I respect the wife energy. I'm not trying to accidentally be a home wrecker. So I don't see him. So, but he used to always grease and seal moisture in my hair. My hair grew so fast, y'all. When I tell you this man can grow some damn hair, he need to go, and he likes it too. He loves he loves to grease your hair and grease your scalp. I said, I know his wife is over there loving it up. Loving it up. But my man, he can't do it because he has psoriasis. My man, he can't do it, y'all. He said, I can't do it. I'll pull your hair out. So he's trying to respect my hair and not pull my hair out because it's psoriasis. You know, because my hair is so fragile. But yep, I miss my childhood friend. He always sealed moisture in my hair. We would sit on the porch, listen to some music, and we'd bust out the African grow grease. Yep, y'all. Hi, everybody. Somebody said I'm a mess. I help y'all. I like to talk shit. I just ain't trying to be no accidental hung wrecker. So I told my best friend, I said, I'm going to have to best friend break up with you. No. See, I don't got the kind of husband that's like, oh, I don't want nobody greasing your hair. Okay. I don't got that kind of husband. I missed the little part there, but I did it. Because my husband has a woman that does his hair. He only lets a woman do his hair. I don't blame him. He don't trust his hair with men. He don't want nobody messing up his edges and stuff. He got this woman that been doing hair for over 30 years. He been going to her since he was a little boy. He will not let a man in his hair. He won't, y'all. He won't. He want that woman love. He want that feminine love, and I'm okay. Long as he don't rush her to the motel. Long as they don't end up at the motel, I don't care. No, I ain't bothered by that. Okay? And he likes to be real comfortable. He likes to be real comfortable when he gets his hair done. So he doesn't do like bending over the tub or product running down his back and stuff. He don't do that. He said, I ain't trying to do that energy. My husband has the most healthiest hair you can ever see in your life. He hasn't missed one hair appointment in 20 years, 20 something years. He be that strict, y'all. But this is what he told me. He told me to stop being so quick to shampoo. He told me it was the shampoos that kept stripping the sebum out my hair. That's why my hair was growing slow. And he was right. The only way a shampoo will speed up growth in your hair is it has to be a hydration shampoo with like minerals in it. Otherwise, the shampoo is like setting you back. You might be like, I got clean hair, but it didn't really do nothing for your scalp. It didn't do nothing to grow your hair. That's the problem. Okay? So I switched to my peppermint mint shampoo because I want growth stimulation. So that's what I switched to in here. And my botanical, my Belange kind. Hi everybody. Yeah, hydration. Don't even mess with a cream. If it don't hydrate, y'all be like, I don't mess with that. It ain't even worth it. See, because this still hydrates. The Curl Can Drain does have a hydration, but I'm gonna just keep it real. This don't hydrate like it say. This ain't all that good with hydration. This ain't, y'all. You're better off. Only time when Curl Can Drain can really pull it through is if you already have the hydration in. So let's say you got a high amp hydration conditioning treatment. Then this is the stuff Then this is the stuff. But, if you didn't sit under the steam and steam your hair and hydrate the hell out of it, you're going to have to use the grease with this. I don't care what nobody say. If you foresee. Yeah, I ain't going to no more women, y'all. I ain't doing it. Every time I go to a woman to do my hair, I come out with way less hair. Now, I tried. I ain't want to discriminate. And every time I say 2 inches, they take off 9 inches. And I know because I know how long my hair was. If my hair is here, if I go like this before I go in the salon and it's here, and I say take off 2 inches and my hair's up to here, you took off more than that. They took off more than that. No, this is every single time. Nope, I'm good. I'm going back to the old salon where I had a dude doing my hair. When I was going to Karma Dones, how many of y'all know Karma Dones in Pennsylvania? Karma Dones got men doing women's hair up in there. But Karma Dones ain't cheap. They know they the stuff up in there. My hair was growing. I mean, they never cut off too much, but you're going to pay some money in Karma Dones. I feel like this. Don't go cheap with your haircuts. For real. If you're going to go get a trim, come about your pocket. Don't do no cheap trims because they're not going to give a damn about your hair. Okay? I feel like only go to like Philip Pelusi's or Karma Dones. Philip Pelusi, like celebrities be going to Philip Pelusi's. That's where I took my daughter out. It used to cost me like $80 a year for her trim. It was expensive. But my daughter's hair was down past her knees. They never cut too much off. I'm just not trying to go cheap with my trims anymore. If I'm gonna go to a place and get it trimmed, I'm gonna be like, who's really good in here at doing trims and listening and respecting my wishes. For real. Cause I'm just not for cutting hair when it don't need to be cut. Something's uncomfortable to me about cutting hair that's not dead. Something's uncomfortable. Like unless it's like past my knees. Okay, I don't want it. I don't want it cut off. There's some people that would kill to have that hair, and you cutting living hair off your head. You're cutting healthy hair off your head. No, that's kind of disrespectful, y'all, to people that got, chemo. Like, there's people that got chemo that would love to just grow some of that hair, and you're just getting, healthy hair cut off and leaving it on the floor at the salon. No, y'all, something dark about that. No, I can feel when they cut healthy hair off, cause I'll feel sad. How many of y'all have felt unexplained sadness after y'all got y'all hair trimmed? I mean, they took off healthy hair. Okay, your crown know when somebody taking off healthy hair. They took off too much healthy hair, so your spirit is sad. I'm telling you, your spirit is shocked. That Yeah, that's somebody that had negative energy and they didn't care if they was cutting off your your healthy hair. That's the problem, y'all. They didn't care. They did not care, and they was going in too hard, way too hard, and it shocked your soul. Okay? Hair, man, hair's like antennas. It's like what is it? Avatar. Have you ever seen the movie Avatar? That's like, you see how long their hair was. They wasn't playing. You see, they had a long plait. When somebody cutting off healthy hair like that you didn't ask to remove, that's like somebody snatching your baby from you, like, and just running off with your baby. Like, that's what it feel like. That type of grief after they do that. You should feel joyful. Okay, y'all, this is like y'all might have to go back to the sink and wet my hair, because it feels like it's just not drying. I mean, it's drying too fast. Okay, here it is. I just had to add a little bit more. This air is so dry in here. The heat is too high, so it's like my hair is drying faster than I can actually twist it. So we'll see when this dries here if I want to add a little bit more gel. I'm going to give it another minute to see what it's going to do. Okay, yeah. There's enough in it. When you got real dense hair like me, you got to be looking like, okay, did I put in enough? If it's shrinking like this, then it's like, yeah, I like that moisture. When your hair starts to shrink real fast, when your finger coiling, it's letting you know, like, yeah, that was enough. That was enough moisture. Okay? Everything you want to achieve is scientific, y'all. It's scientific too. You gotta study. You gotta study your own hair to see how fast it absorbs water, how fast it shrinks, how much product it likes. And after a while, you'll figure it out, like, okay, I see how much mine's like. You can't just use the same amount as everybody else. Hi, everybody. Okay. All right. Yeah, y'all, but I heard protect your energy today. I like doing my hair. You know why I like doing my hair? It feel like I'm protecting my energy. You ever notice when you're doing your hair, you like, I'm cool, I want to be by myself. when you do your hair, you be like, I'm cool, I don't want to be bothered. I'm gonna give me a little glass of wine, put my little movie on, be by myself. Self-care is protection, y'all. It really is. So whenever I get to a part where it's like, okay, this is real thick. This is getting real thick. See how thick that is back there? That's when I bust out the thicker cream because I already know that, you know, it's going to be hard for the moisture to penetrate. So, all right. Our hair need what is called Kinley. Okay, so you have to be like rubbing your hair. There's a little bit of grease. I'm definitely using grease on the back of this head. It's it's thick. This is some thick hair back here, y'all. See, as soon as I put a little bit more grease in, there, that was easier to twist. But yeah, y'all. Okay. So I do like the front of my hair the little bit more stack. But I think I'm gonna leave this too. Hair is like artistry, even when you're twisting. Y'all can't just be like, I'm just twisting this in the same pattern as I always do. No, y'all. I'm telling y'all that will get boring real quick. You'll be like, Okay. I decided to add a little bit more to this one. Okay. There we go. Now, as I said, I can always see how this one I scrunched it. I can scrunch this side too. I can go like that just to add some personality, personality to the to it. But I want to wait till some of them are a little bit more dry. Now, like I said, when your parts are thick, it's going to require more pressure from your fingers to lock them, okay, to twist them. So, as I said, always consider the density of the parts. If it's not that dense and not that thick, you don't want to go firm with your twist, okay? If you know you got fragile edges, then you should probably be not going so firm. You should be like this, okay? But where your hair is the thickest, like mine's as thick as it goes to the top and to the middle back. This means that even if I part them the same width as the front, it's still going to be more hair. So that means I'm going to have to go a little firmer with my twist. So before you even do the finger coil, you need to ask, like, how thick is this section? Like, does this feel thick? Does it feel like there's a lot of hair there? Then you can go a little firmer with your finger coil. When this lady was doing my hair at the salon, she was always going loose around my edges, and then she would go firmer as the hair got thicker and more dense. Hi, everybody. Somebody said I'm a mess. Thank you very much. Okay. So y'all, look, you have all day to love yourself. If you ain't at work, if you don't got to go to work, if the kids is at school for 7 hours, don't be rushing through your hair. Right? Take your break. Be like, the kids don't even come home till like about 6 o'clock. The after school program is over. I got hours to do my hair. On the day that I'm really doing me, I don't do a whole lot around the house. See, that's how people are getting burnt out. They're trying to do a whole lot around the house and then intense self-care. No. Your me day requires you to do only what's necessary around the house. Dishes, toilets, wiping down some tables, taking out the trash. That's it, okay, on your me day. Okay, bye, everybody. I do want to mention something. Some of y'all be using this thick gel. I can tell y'all right now, if you're using this for your finger coils, you're going to have a very tight, like when the gel is like thick like this, you're going to have a very tight coil. And within 2 weeks, it's going to be like your hair is turning into a locking up. So you will have to wash this out sooner than you will have to wash this stuff out. See what I'm saying? So consider how tight you want your twist and how long do you want them in. and how less puffy you want them. If you don't want them so puffy when you're doing them wet, you want to use a very firm gel. See how firm that is? But if you want the hair to be real curly and swollen and, luscious looking, you want to use a looser gel and have your parts bigger. If you do your parts small and you use a looser gel, you're going to look like you have an old school Jerry curl. If you do it thicker parts with the looser gel, then you're going to have the water and the gel is going to still swell up the hair and it's going to look like thick, juicy coils. Okay? Which I like. I like my coils fat and juicy. Okay? I thought I liked the little tiny coils, and it was like, I got too much cheekbones for these. If I had like a narrow face, I would love the little skinny curls. My daughter's face is a little bit more narrow, so she can kind of get away with the tiny little coils. But because I got a wide face like this, my face is shaped like the mummy jars. My face is shaped identical to the mummy jars in the tombs. Look, y'all. like a perfume jar. Okay, you like a flower, like a vase for flowers. It's shaped exactly like how somebody would go buy a vase and put some flowers in it. So I like mine to be bigger here, because I'm wider here. I'm not going to make it lean because then it's going to be like, my face is going to look too big then. So to take away some of the bigness forward facing of my face, I had like my stuff thicker. Consider the angles of your face too. You don't just coil your face. You need to think about like the shape of your head. Okay. Whenever I wear my stuff juicy, I literally get it even fatter than this. When I make them like real fat stack, like men be like, you got beautiful hair. Even women be like, oh, beautiful. But when I wear it like thin and curly, I don't really get compliments, y'all. I'm not saying I don't look good with it. It just doesn't really complement my robust type of bone structure. Okay. Bye, everybody. I'll see y'all later. You're welcome. Bye, everybody.